Friday, and you're listening to another special edition of the Knightcast, the Xbox One launch edition of the Knightcast. And with me, as always, the Dark Legend.
What's up?
You excited?
I am excited.
Xbox!
Elder Scrolls!
And Xbox!
And Elder Scrolls!
So, you got your beta for Elder Scrolls. Before we get into the Xbox One, tell us about Elder Scrolls Online.
Elder Scrolls Online is 30 minutes after they're supposed to launch. They still haven't launched. That's what it is. And then, once you get in, you spend an hour with your awesome character creation because they literally have hundreds of combinations because it's amazing. Going through, creating your character, you're about to hit save, and boom, server goes down. That's what Elder Scrolls Online is. But once you go through about 2 rounds of that, the server being offline, and then it coming back online after about an hour and a half of it supposing to be online. All right, let's just say 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when it was supposed to be online. It actually got online at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and around 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to 8 o'clock Eastern Time, I actually created my character and jumped in game. And let me tell you, once I got in game, it was well worth the wait. It is amazing. The classes are awesome.
What classes are there?
There are, oh man, what the heck are they called? They're not normal classes that you would normally have inside of a Skyrim thing. It is hold on, I had this saved somewhere for you. Elder Scrolls. It's like Dragon Knot.
Dragon Snot?
Yeah, Dragon Snot.
Okay.
Dragon Snot. Hold on 1 second. Alright, there's the Templar, the Dragon Knight, the Sorcerer, and the Nightblade.
What'd you choose?
I chose Dragon Knight.
Alright. Is that like a warrior, kind of?
Yeah. Well, and they're all kind of warriors except for the Sorcerer. And the nice thing about Elder's ESO, is that you can really create your character how you want to be. Like in some of the videos and stuff that they've even said, you can be a sorcerer with a sword and shield, and you can level your sword and shield as high as you want to go, but you're also a sorcerer at the same time. So like the Templars are the paladins, basically, if you're in the World of Warcraft or any other gaming MMO. So I don't know. I've been a paladin on World of Warcraft before, and it was all right, but it wasn't my favorite thing. I know you, Hester, you were a paladin, and you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fun.
So Templar would be a way to go to recreate that if you wanted to. Dragon Knight, also known as DK, which is kind of a reference back to
Death
World
Knight?
Death Knight World of Warcraft, which was my favorite character. He's like the tank, swordsman. He's a cool fighter. He actually uses an ancient cavalry martial art traditional battle spirit. Yeah, me too. I'll take Rampage Jackson on any time with that shit. And so he's a tank, but he can also he has some spells and stuff like that is very, very strong. He uses spiked and dragon armor. You can be a sorcerer, which of course is the mage. You can use the heal. Things along that line. It's more self-explanatory, more standardized like World of Warcraft. And then there is the Nightblade, which is kind of like the stealthy assassins class. So that might be something fun to check out later on down the road. Or the Paladin, which would be the Templar.
Is it $15 a month fun?
Once I get the bugs fixed, yes.
Now
I believe so.
This is supposed to be on next-gen consoles. Well, I guess
yes.
now-gen consoles.
Yeah, now-gen consoles.
How do you think they'll do a paid subscription on a console?
I don't know how they're going to run that, but I do know that if you check out ElderScrollsOnline.com, fish around on their website a little bit, you will actually see there's a link on there if you can find it. to sign up for the console betas. So if you have a PS4 or an Xbox One, you can log on to ElderScrolls.com
Luckies.
and you can find the beta information for that and put your name down for beta testing on a console. I don't know this type of game right here. I mean, if I had a PS4, I might look into it. But really, for MMOs, you really have to have a PC to use all the
Yeah,
keys and everything like that. So,
I know it sounds kind of retarded, but key binding was one of the things I kind of enjoyed in Warcraft.
well, not only that, the graphics, I mean, you can upgrade your PC to be so much better than the Xbox One and the PS4, and the graphics would be amazing. Um, but, that all comes down to personal preference, too. Once you start getting into computer building, you could spend a lot more than you would on a PS4 or an Xbox One. And honestly, the computer I'm running right now, I could have bought an Xbox One and a PS4, and even more. So, I mean, it gets expensive. I understand why some people don't do that,
Yeah,
but
that computer you've got, you turn it on and you start blowing breakers and the lights dim and
yeah,
it's like a
actually,
dungeon in your house when you turn it on.
yeah, my wife walked into my office yesterday because I asked her to turn on my computer, and of course, I went outside for a little bit, and I was doing things out there, playing with my dog. Came back inside, and she goes, I think we lost power. I said, what?
No, the computer just sucked it all up.
That's exactly what
It
it turned
does
out to
that.
be. I was like, no, I think you blew a fuse. She goes, no, there's no power in any of our bedrooms or in the bathroom, and the kitchen lights don't work, but the living room does. I said, well, you blew a fuse then. I said, well, what did you do? She goes, well, I turned on your computer. Anything else? No, just your computer. Ah, son of a bitch. So I went in, flipped the breaker, and we had a heater on. And
Ah,
just by turning on my computer, it blew the whole thing for basically the whole entire house. So
well, that computer takes like 20 million gigawatts of power anyway, so.
yeah, and this is it's kind of getting outdated. So I'm going to be building a new one here relatively soon.
Before we get, we skipped a section right at the beginning. I know we got the Xbox One to talk about,
Yes,
but we haven't talked about what's been going on in our personal lives since last week. That's usually how we open the show, and there
that's
was a
true.
there was a comment made on Facebook that there are people out there that actually seem to enjoy that part of the show.
And I call those people boring. They apparently don't have anything else better to do than listen to my awesome stories. Just kidding, just kidding.
So, what happened in Dark Legends life since last week?
Since last
This
week,
notable.
this well, I have been for months and actually realistically years looking online for an adequate ocarina. Now, not just any ocarina, the Legend of Zelda replica ocarina. And I found replicas from $20 that are plastic up to $200. And I saw some $200 ones that looked cool, and they said they were replicas, but the legitimate ocarina from the Nintendo 64 is a 7-hole ocarina. The $200 ones are 20-hole ocarinas, which just look ridiculous, and I've never played one before, and I'm not going to do that. So I found a place called songbirds.com. I believe that's what it is anyways. Songbirds is the name of the company, so if you Google it, you can look at all their ocarinas. And I started doing some research, reading around on actually good ones, and everybody says there's two of them you can go with, STL ocarinas or songbirds. Now, STL has no warranty.
Bullshit.
They don't stand behind their product, apparently, if you get a defective one. Songbirds, on the other hand, since we do this podcast and we have a gaming website, and I told them about us, gave me a little bit of extra incentive to go ahead and purchase my ocarina through them, which every review I've read online says they have amazing ocarinas. And they actually have the legitimate 7-hole replica from The Legend of Zelda. And they have a 12-hole.
Oh, I don't know
Eh.
what's an ocarina. What is that?
You know that little... you've played Legend of Zelda, right? The Ocarina of Time?
I played one in the game and it warped me somewhere from what I remember.
Warped you somewhere. What the hell?
I don't know. Is that right?
Did you play a little instrument that went up to your mouth?
Yes.
Yes, that's the ocarina.
So what does it do in the game?
In the game, it can either change the weather, can change it from day to night. You can call your horse by it, play Zelda's Lullaby. Basically, anything that you need to do, you use your ocarina for. If
Well,
you can't use one of your weapons,
well, what does it do in real life?
in real life, it just
Same
sounds
as above.
amazing. Same as buff.
You were in for a fucking treat then.
Yeah, I'm gonna start making it dark when it's supposed to be light, light when it's supposed to be dark. I'm gonna make it rain like a motherfucker.
Plus
But
your wife will get some sweet serenades at bedtime.
exactly, she's gonna be
You
pissed.
can just ocarina her right to sleep every night.
Uh-huh. So, needless to say, after going back and forth for a few days with them, I settled on the 12 hole. One one reason being that with the 7 hole to play the songs, it comes with a book and it comes with the Legend of Zelda chest, a little wooden chest that the ocarina fits inside of. So epic right there, hands down to them. Nobody else offers that. Which I'm super excited just for the chest. I mean, crap, I would have paid like $50 just for the little chest for it. But needless to say, with the 7 hole, you have to like move your fingers like halfway through the hole to make like a certain note. Well, with the 12 hole, they have all the notes on it. So I chose to go with the 12 hole. Basically looks identical. It's the same exact size, just got a few extra holes on it. Like 4 extra holes, 5 extra holes, whatever the hell that number is between the two. It's 7 and 12. I terrible at math. I think it's 5. But anyways, so I'm very excited about that. Then that should be getting here next week. So next Friday, maybe I'll give you guys a little sneak peek at my awesome
you need to,
ocarina playing.
yeah, you need to play it on the show.
Yeah, I'm gonna play you guys some sweet serenade songs there.
You can play the bumper music between segments for us.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna sound awesome. I
That'll
might
be
get
awesome.
I'll get one day's worth of practice in.
You know, my
Uh,
she plays the flute
oh, nice.
in the school band, and she was in her room practicing the other night, and I was looking online at music or notes or sheet music for a flute,
Yeah.
and I found just the first couple of notes to the song Lowrider.
Oh,
And
nice.
I took it to her. I was like, "Here, can you play this?" And I gave her, the notes, the actual notes it was, and after a few tries, she could. It wasn't, up to pace as the actual song, but the notes are right. And I was like,
Nice.
"That's awesome! I can just bring you anything now, and you can play it for me."
Awesome.
But after I brought her the notes to it, for about 30 minutes after that,
That's all she did.
all we heard from her bedroom was do 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 do. So she's still,
Awesome.
and then I started to regret that decision, but
No, that is epic.
it was pretty cool. It was pretty
That's
cool.
really cool. So I hear that we need to talk about dryers more often.
Well, the dryer situation is under control now, but
Ah,
I guess this house was built the 1920s, 1930s. It's been fully remodeled on the inside, and to look at it on the inside and the outside, you can't really tell. They put vinyl siding on it. It's nice,
nah.
but some of the plumbing,
Yeah, hasn't been
now,
replaced yet.
no, and our kitchen sink stopped up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and it stopped up yesterday. It stopped up maybe day before. It started draining real slow, and then finally yesterday it just stopped up completely.
Uh-oh.
Well, we poured Drano in there, hoping for a miracle, and that didn't do anything. But the Drano kind of mixed with the water that was in the sink, and there was some grease in the water that had come off the dishes, and it just smelled like a chemical factory in here for a while. But I took the sink apart tonight before the show, and I took the traps, the P trap out underneath, took all the piping from the sink to the wall apart. And the bad news is the blockage isn't in those pipes. The blockage is in the actual
Uh-oh.
pipe that goes into the wall and down under the house. So I put a coat hanger, shoved a coat hanger down in there, and it didn't hit anything. So there's no telling how far down that pipe it stopped up.
Uh,
Yeah, so I'm not really looking forward to that tomorrow. Fixing that. I
that's
hate
not
getting under
good.
my house. I hate getting under the house. There's spiders under there. I had to get a dead cat from under the house one time.
Oh
It was a
no,
fucking nightmare. It was awful.
that is terrible.
But I don't want to ramble too much about the sink and house stuff. When we've got exciting news like the Xbox One,
Yes.
and the Xbox
Oh,
One launched.
it
Yeah?
launched. It launched.
Did you see it on Twitter?
I saw that the DVD does not work.
Well, okay. Well, here's here's the thing.
Ha, ha.
Some of the DVD drives seem to be having trouble.
Some of them, huh?
Yeah, there's no specific percentage yet. Right now, it's still launch days, so I don't expect there to be a specific number yet.
Yeah.
But apparently, they seem to be. You put a disc in, and it just spits it back out.
I've heard of that.
And they're chewing them up. No, I don't know. I don't know if they're really chewing them up. But
They're spitting them out and asking for a PS4 disc.
no, no, they're not.
I'm thinking so.
There's let's see. I guess in time, I guess at least by the next show, we'll know how many sold. PlayStation said what, 1 million units day one, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Within the first 24 hours is over 1 million or at 1 million, something like that.
Right. So
So we'll see. I have read that Microsoft has already reported that they're going to have issues keeping up with the demand. So however many consoles they've already had out there are already sold. But it really surprises me that I haven't seen anything really about it like I did the PS4.
right.
Whether it be good news or bad news, on Google Plus, people haven't been really posting pictures of their Xbox Ones. So it leads me to believe that maybe people aren't as excited as they thought they were going to be. But, I mean, it could be wrong, too. Maybe within the next 24 hours, maybe people will start popping up ridiculous, and maybe everybody's just too busy playing their Xbox One, whereas with everybody with the PS4 was broken. So they were like, well, I have nothing better to do than post pictures of it. So maybe people are actually on their Xbox One, and that's the reason why they're not posting.
Right. Well, you got to think the Xbox One released when PlayStation 4 released. It released U.S. only.
Uh-huh.
It's coming to Europe later this year, and then
Yep.
it's not coming to Japan until like February of next year.
Yeah.
Where Xbox One had a multi-continent launch.
That's true.
It launched in Europe. It launched here. I'm not sure where else. I'm not sure if they launched in Japan or not.
I think it launched worldwide, didn't it?
I think so. They put out a list of countries it was going to launch in today on the 22nd, but then they went back and revised the list. So I'm not sure. Some countries got cut.
Gotcha.
And I think it was a demand issue.
Yep.
So we'll see. I watched some videos last night after midnight. Some videos from Europe. People were putting up their Xbox Ones.
Oh, yeah?
They were doing the dashboard update, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah?
I listened to. Do you know who Adam Sessler is?
No.
He was on G4 TV on XPlay for a long time,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know X-Plane stuff.
and he left there and he went to Revision 3.
Huh.
He gave the Xbox a mediocre review, the Xbox One,
Okay.
but a different podcast I listened to, they were absolutely in love with it. They were impressed with it.
Huh.
So it's just, and the other podcast I listened to, it was a pretty reputable bunch, and they've had it for a while, playing with it, and they were impressed. So it's just, I just hate that the Xbox One. I hate it for people that watched the announcement. I watched, the PlayStation 4 announcement and the Xbox One announcement.
Yeah.
And I hate it for the people that watched the Xbox One announcement, didn't like some of the features that were in it, and just stopped paying attention and never realized all the changes that Microsoft made to the console,
Yeah.
just from the feedback alone. Because I was still hearing people reading stuff online, people having arguments saying, well, I can't sell my games back. And everybody's like, no, yeah, you can. They're like, well, where'd you hear this? So I don't know. I feel like a lot of people tuned into that initial announcement and heard something they didn't like and just didn't pay any more attention after that.
Yeah.
So, but I still want one. I've been impressed with the videos I've seen online, the stuff I've seen from Major Nelson and stuff that videos Xbox or Microsoft has put out. I've been impressed with the whole console. Not too wild about how it looks. It kind of looks like a VCR, but
It does, and actually, and I've seen some pretty good memes lately about it. The old Sony VCRs and stuff like that right next to a Xbox One. They look pretty much identical, so maybe that's where they got their ideas from. But
but with that being said, I'm not too impressed with the design of the PS4 either.
No.
So
shut up.
I've still got the old Xbox that's got the big strong curves on the front of it. It's got the detachable faceplate.
See, you're talking about the Xbox 360?
Right.
Yeah.
My kids have a newer one. Not the newest design, but
I like the original Xbox 360 design. I don't like the new Xbox 360 design.
Well, theirs has bigger vents on it, a bigger fan in it, a quieter fan.
Well, that's because there were so many issues with the older ones, but
right.
Like I said before on the last one, I'm not going to be sold for a while. I want to see how they go, what changes on both of them, what they both end up doing, what their producers end up putting out, what they bring to the game. And on top of that, I just can't afford it because I'm going to Florida in July. So that goes on my money.
Well, as far as launch games, too, I haven't been impressed. We're really either system at any of the launch games. I wouldn't want to buy Call of Duty Ghost on the Xbox to turn around and play it again on Xbox One.
See, and that was the nice thing about PlayStation was with their upgrade policy. You could buy Call of Duty Ghost on the PS3.
And for $10,
you can upgrade to your PS4. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But there again, why the hell would I want to spend an extra $10 to play it right now? I guess I'm just not that big of a fan. I guess for a really big fan, it makes sense. Back in my FPS days, it would have made a lot of sense, other than I only play FPSs on my computer back in the day when I was a huge FPS fan, and that's all I cared about. It had to be a PC FPS. It couldn't be a console.
Right.
So, needless to say, right now I'm not too enthused about either way, and I wouldn't purchase the game and then pay an extra $10. If I bought it for the PS3, it was only going to be on the PS3. Let's put it that way.
Right. The only game I saw for the Xbox One that I was impressed with is Titanfall, and that's not coming out until March.
And Knack looked pretty cool, but I've heard a lot of people say it's a really short game and a waste of money. So
right. One thing we never asked Frank on the last show was how long is the campaign for Call of Duty Ghost? I've heard it's like 5 hours and that's it.
Huh. But, see, I never play the campaigns.
Right. So. I was about to say, but a lot of people don't even touch the campaigns anyway, or they want to at least get through it as fast as possible.
Yeah.
To get into multiplayer.
See, and I just never even cared about the campaigns on them.
So I'm probably looking at not 2014, but possibly 2015, picking up an Xbox One, and at least by then there'll be some.
The bugs will be worked out, and there'll be some variety of games.
Exactly. Titanfall will be out. Destiny, which is coming to both consoles, should be out by then.
Yeah.
And that looks really cool.
Yeah, that does.
And I've heard some people complain too with the Xbox One about the graphic quality of it. And to those people, I say, do you remember the launch games for the 360 versus like Halo 4?
Yep.
And how much different they looked. So,
well, just think of I know you've only played the most recent Fable game, Fable 3.
Right.
But Fable, the original, came out on Xbox. The original Xbox.
I bet it was garbage.
It was actually, it's my favorite Fable by far. But then Xbox 360 came out, and they made Fable The Lost Chapters, and I believe that actually, it was even made for the original Xbox as well. It was made for PC users. PC people loved it so much they remade it for the Xbox or Xbox 360. And just look at the graphics between the two of them. They're identical games, except for the Lost Chapters has a few extra hours added onto it. And the graphics are amazing. Now, keeping that in mind, think of Fable 2 graphics compared to Fable 3 graphics, and I mean Xbox was out. Xbox 360 was out for a little bit when Fable 2 was made, and just to look at the difference between Fable: The Lost Chapters, Fable 2, and then Fable 3. Between Fable 2 and Fable 3 isn't a huge difference, but there is a difference. So as you can, it's definite to tell that as consoles are out longer, the better the graphics get, the better the
Right.
gameplay, the smoothness, everything gets better with time. So
Well, we had the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 for what, 8 years?
yeah, 7 to 8 years, something like that.
What's your prediction for the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4? How long before we see another console, do you think?
God, you know, I would like to say that they're gonna be consistent and stay around the 5 to 7 year mark, but with the issues that they've had, I don't know. I mean, obviously they're easy issues to fix, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But with the way the technology's advancing so quickly, and it advanced really quickly within those 7 years, but I don't know, man. I mean, maybe I'll say 4 to 6 years.
You think 4 to 6?
I'm thinking 4 to 6.
See, I'm looking long haul. I'm thinking we're going to have an Xbox One and a PlayStation 4. I'm thinking it's 10 years before you see another console.
Really?
I think so, because start hitting year 6, 7, where they're really maxing these machines out,
Yeah.
and the games are going to look completely different. But how much more in a video game, how much more realistic can you make a game? You know what I'm saying? How much
Yeah, that's very true.
before you're doing just live video, how much more realistic can you make something look?
Before you're hiring actors to actually do what the controller tells you to do.
Exactly.
That's true. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I'm still going to stick with the 4 to 6 year mark just because I'm not really looking at maybe the graphics might not be better, but the capacity of what they can put on a Blu-ray disc might be extremely minimal compared to whatever type of media device comes out next. And maybe they're going to make a console that, let's say, you never have to load. It loads one time. You never have loads going in and out of houses. Let's say it's a game the size of World of Warcraft or larger, never loading, and it's all because the new way that the media is. If they get something like that and it's proven that it can work and they can budget it correctly to sell the games, developers are going to want a new system to where they can expand their games to make them larger, bigger, everything like that. So
Well, that's what Xbox has now, though, with the cloud technology.
you can't make endless size of games. So
Well, they've given each developer so much space on these servers they can make changes, add stuff in on the fly to the game.
yeah, but it's still maxed out at a certain point.
Do you like things like changing environments that change? Like, I know on Call of Duty Ghosts, there's some levels that have stuff on a certain level that changes the level, or the building collapsing in Battlefield.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Does it add a new stress level? Yes. Um, but I enjoy it.
Do you think do you think that's
that's
something?
one thing that
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
it's fine. That's kind of one thing that kind of bored me about MMOs was that things never changed. Like Dalaran, like you said, we were talking about like yesterday about it. You logged on to World of Warcraft again,
Yeah.
and you ran around Dalaran for like half an hour, and you were like, well, same thing, and then you logged off. I mean, the games need to change to keep the person enthused, especially with big games like Call of Duty, Battlefield. I mean, there can only be certain times that, like in Battlefield, there's so many places to hide up on that huge tower skyscraper.
Right.
Well, when it falls down, then it adds a whole different level. The only bad part about that is when it falls the same every time. So then when it falls, you know exactly where to go to hide and everything like that.
Exactly.
Still kind of boring, still kind of lame. Now, if that changed every time, say there was like 120 ways that it fell, and everything that could change, like anything you could blow a hole into, anything like that, changed and had like a rate of 120, and it just kind of rotated through, or even 50, let's say, or 25. I mean, every 25 matches, then you'd get the same one again. By that time, I mean you could eventually get accustomed to it, but it would still be kind of fun and innovative every time.
Do you know a game that I've played on 360 recently that is something different every single time?
Candy Crush Saga.
No, no.
Oh, okay.
I was playing Skyrim the other day,
Oh, yes.
and I walked into Dragon's Reach,
Yep.
and just out of nowhere, I don't know what was going on in fucking Dragon Reach before I opened the door. But as soon as like the inside of Dragon Reach loads, plates just fall to the floor like right in front of me.
What the?
I know it was like 3 silver plates just dropped to the floor, and I was like,
It wasn't me.
what the hell is going on?
It wasn't me.
I left and I came back, and they were there until they stayed where they were on the floor until it hit a night and day cycle again, and then they were gone.
Huh.
I guess the woman sweeping in Dragon Reach finally cleaned it up, but I mean, it's something little and it's stupid and it was probably a bug. I don't know what happened, but it was just, you know, something that made me go, well, what the fuck? So, but as far as ever-changing environments, I know I'd like to see more, and now that they have the cloud capability to change stuff on the fly, I'd like to see them. Well, who knows what the future holds for either one of
Yeah,
these consoles? So,
it's very true. I mean, the more that we talk about next gen consoles and things like that, with Elder Scrolls Online coming out and with me having the beta and the way that it's going so far, I could honestly see myself pushing off the PS4 for a while to beef up my computer and play that game thoroughly and regularly. And it could be that these PS4 and Xbox One developers all realize the potential of PC. Nobody's really ever given the PC since its creation, other than before consoles were out. I mean, when PC was the only way that you could game, ever
right.
since consoles have came out,
Gabe,
nobody's really given the PC the hands up. I mean,
Gabe Newell
they
cares
yeah,
from Valve. He cares.
yeah, he cares.
Which the Steam box is still this beta testing now.
Yeah, I'm not too thrilled about that.
Would you be interested in a Steam box if they said, "Here is your basic box. This plugs into your TV. You can access your Steam library. It'll work with a Steam controller. It'll work with a Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller. You've got your choice of controllers or mouse and keyboard." And what if they sold like a package deal, a graphics card, or well, a CPU can be hard to change, but at least a graphics card like upgrade package. After so many years, you could upgrade to a new video card.
For free?
Well, not for free, but I mean it'd be
Oh,
the same. It'd be as easy as an install as say changing a hard drive on a
yeah.
Xbox. It'd just be a
Um,
plug and play.
I mean, I'd be interested in it. Um, Needless to say, whether or not I mean, why not just invest in my PC and beef it up and use Steam there?
Right. And it seems like the fucker of the Steam box is so many games require so many different specs. There is no set spec like with
Yeah,
PlayStation or the Xbox, where this is the console, this is what it is, these are the parameters you have to work in.
yeah,
Where a computer game is basically, well, here's the game, now can your computer handle it?
yeah.
If
And
not, you're fucked. So,
that's what I've always loved about PC gamers in general is like we always have to look in the future. Like, all right, we're building this awesome computer and it can meet every criteria for a game now. Awesome. Next step. Do you think it's gonna be able to handle the game 2 years from now? Probably not. All right, we need to beef this, and this up.
You need another $300 graphics card.
Yeah, I mean, PC gamers, we're a whole breed of ourselves. We have to look. Whereas let's just put it this way: PC gamers, which I still relate to, I still call myself a PC gamer because that's where I started. My passion is still for my PC. It's just that PS4, PS3 was a lot easier. I got it for really cheap. Xbox was a lot easier, and all my friends went that way. So I kind of just followed suit to continue playing with my friends. But being a PC gamer, we have to, for ourselves, look ahead in time and try to figure out what our favorite developers are going to do and what their minimum specifications are going to be.
Right.
Console players don't have to worry about that. They just pick up their console and they know the game's going to work. No matter, I mean, that's like one of my favorite games on the PS3 is Skate. Now, I know that when I bought Skate, it's going to work on my PS3. I know when I bought Skate 2, it's going to work. I know when I bought Skate 3, it's going to work. Now, throwing this back into the PC criteria, when I first got my computer, I knew Battlefield 2142 was going to work, but was the next Battlefield going to work? I didn't know. Was the next Battlefield going to work? I didn't know. And when Battlefield Bad Company 2 came out, it didn't work. So I built a whole new computer. Now, would this computer I currently have now, when I was building it, would it run the next Battlefield? I made sure that I beefed up my computer well enough that it was going to play the next Battlefield. No matter what they threw at me, my computer was going to be able to handle it.
Right.
So that's one thing. PC gamers, people give them kind of a hard time. Yeah, you're a PC gamer and stuff like that. But in all reality, we make the games how we want them to be. The developers build them as hardcore as they can make them, and we, in turn, as the dedicated consumers, do our best to build our computers to meet up with their specifications and exceed them to push them to go even harder.
Exactly.
So, I don't know how we got on that rant, but we did. So.
How'd we go pro PC all of a sudden?
Yeah, that must be the PC gamer inside me. All of a sudden, just popped out. I don't know how that happened.
Well, I saw on Twitter where Sony sent Microsoft a
Congratulations.
tweet. I posted it on the Nine Nights Facebook page where Sony
Congratulations, Microsoft.
Greatness awaits.
Greatness awaits.
So, congratulations, Microsoft, on your launch of the Xbox One.
Sorry we didn't have a longer segment like we did on the PS4, but there's really not that much news for some reason. It's actually starting to kind of worry me, honestly.
Well, it doesn't really worry me. It just seems, like I said before on a different show, it seems like Microsoft was willing to show you what the dashboard looked like, what's going on,
That's true. I guess we already kind of all knew what it was going to be. But still, those hardcore Xbox fans, like, really, why are they not posting photos and videos and stuff like that? I mean, yeah, there are unboxing videos and there are some videos, but there's nothing like there was for the PS4.
Right.
So it makes me wonder if a lot of people, like we had talked about when we first started this podcast back on like episode 1 or 2, makes me really wonder if I wasn't wrong in thinking that some of your Xbox users switched over to PS4 and never went back.
I don't know. Well, I did see on Amazon, I got an email from Amazon where they said that, just wanted to let you know that there's going to be, receive some more quantities of the day one editions of the Xbox Ones, and they're going to go on sale tomorrow if anybody wants to pre-order one. So I think a lot of those were where pre-orders were canceled.
Yeah.
And other people picked them up. So.
Yeah. That's probably very true. I don't know. Time will only tell what's in for the console wars. But I didn't watch the whole episode. I caught the very tail end of it. South Park had a pretty hilarious last 10 minutes of their console wars episode. And apparently part 2 is coming out this week, or it already has came out. I'm not really positive. I need to look it up. But it was pretty funny. So if you get a chance, you should check it out.
And we'll keep an eye on things as far as launch is going. Like I said, the only problem with the Xbox One so far seems to be some
DVD reader errors.
exactly, and I've seen some people having some trouble getting the day one update to install.
I've
So
also heard of some dead on arrival units too. Those are very few in between. Not many people have reported it, but I have seen reported a few times on Google Plus that people have opened up their system or consoles and the system just doesn't work. Period.
yeah,
But I've only seen like 5 of them. So, but yeah, I mean that's 5. There's obviously more out there. People just aren't saying.
we'll keep an eye on all the exciting news. We'll see what Microsoft churns out for their day one sales or day one consoles shipped at least.
That'll be we'll post that up with the actual podcast announcement on our website so you guys can see right there.
Right, that'll be on the website and on the Facebook page. Before we wrap this segment up, I mean that's really all I've got on the Xbox One. It's either everybody's playing it and loving it and or quiet
Nobody's got it.
or not as many people picked it up as I hoped. I still want one. I'd love to check it out, but
Yeah, well maybe you'll find something out and you will switch your mind.
no, there's no way.
Maybe I'm just throwing this out there, hypothetical, but maybe Halo got bought out by PlayStation.
Nah.
You don't know that. Shut your mouth. You don't know things I know.
Before we wrap the segment up, have you been playing anything else this week or just Elder Scrolls Online?
Elder Scrolls Online, and I'm not gonna lie, some more Pokemon. I did not meet my goal of beating Pokemon this week. Got some other things going on. I had booked a trip out to Florida in July, so I did not get a Link Between Worlds today.
You will.
But I will. There's no doubt about it. I'll have it here in the near future. I spent the money I saved up for it on my Ocarina and amongst a few other things that I was saving up for that I was pretty close to getting. Now they're all shot in the toilet. But that, and I've been playing Ocarina of Time, 3DS, and Nintendo 64 edition. Don't ask me why I've been playing both of them, because I don't know. I'm just kind of addicted. So I pick one up and then get bored on it, and then I want to play it on a big screen, so I go play it on my Nintendo 64. So yeah. Oh, there is rumors of a Majora's Mask remake for the 3DS, and
Okay.
if that comes true, I'm gonna be very excited because that game was awesome, and all the haters out there can hate because I was a hater back in the day on it. I hated it. It was hard. I couldn't understand it, but I would love the challenge again, and I have it for the Nintendo 64, so that might be something I might start up this week.
Do you feel like Nintendo's going, well, I don't know. We don't know what to do. Well, you liked this game, didn't you?
Yeah.
You want to play this again?
But see,
Here
the
it
thing
is.
is that they're not remaking it. Well, I guess I can't say that. They remade Wind Waker HD, which some people claim to be the hands-down best Zelda game ever. I understand why they made that again on the new gen. But these ones that are classics from the Nintendo 64, they're remaking them on the handheld device to get us, which it's like nostalgia to me, and they're getting me to buy the system is what they're doing. Needless to say, it worked because that's the reason I got my Nintendo 3DS was for the Ocarina of Time 3DS. It's the only reason I got my Nintendo 3DS. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I mean it worked, and if they keep doing remakes of Nintendo 64 games on the 3DS, I'm not gonna complain. I like having the option to play it on the fly. Like when I fly out to Florida, when I fly to Vegas, California, anywhere I go for my job, I like to be able to pull out my Nintendo 3DS and play my games. So,
Have you seen the new? I'm not sure. I think what's the new Zelda game that just came out?
A Link Between Worlds.
Have you seen the 3DS edition?
Shut up.
The coat was black and gold and it's got the Triforce on it. Have you seen that 3DS?
It's black on the bottom, but this top of it's gold with a gold Triforce etched into it. You flip it open, all the keys, everything on the on the keypad side of it, touchscreen side of it is all gold. The top screen is all gold. The only thing on it black that I've been able to see is the bottom. And actually, I'm wondering if that's not false because it looks like it even goes gold down to the very sides of it. So unless the bottom's only black, it makes no sense. But still not. It's the 3DS XL, which is cool because it's a bigger screen. But I really do believe that the Ocarina of Time edition, limited edition 3DS is cooler looking than this one. Just because it's got the Hyrule graphics on it, it's got the Triforce on it. I think it's way more cool than this XL Zelda edition. But
Right.
don't get me wrong, I would love to have it in my arsenal. Is it going to happen? No. So,
Yeah. Good luck with the wife with that one.
yeah, just
But you've already got a 3DS.
yeah. I've already went down that road when I tried to get the limited edition Zelda one.
But this one's Zelda.
Yeah, this one has a Triforce on it.
I have a
But
bookshelf for this.
I did have to happen to find a Etsy person who makes decals that are
Okay.
identical to the 3DS or the 3DS limited edition Zelda one, and my 3DS I made sure was black just for this occasion. So I'm gonna order the top, center, screen, and bottom decals for that console, and then mine will look identical to everybody else's. Woohoo!
Well, problem solved. There you go.
Yeah. Yep. So.
Is that all? Is that all you played?
That is all I've played, actually, sadly.
I played. Well, I played Skyrim. We won't go into that.
Nice.
We've been over and over that.
Yeah, but Skyrim's such an awesome game.
I know. I keep going back to it in my free time. I started a second playthrough, and I'm trying to really max everything out and explore everything this time around. So I'm working through that in my free time.
Yep.
I went back and played some more Modern Warfare 3. I've played that into the ground, but it's got Drop Zone on Modern
Yeah.
Warfare 3. If you played
Yeah.
Drop Zone,
No, I've never played it, but I've seen it.
it's where they'll mark a section on the map in red, but like red flares. As long as you're in that section of the map, you start in multiplayer, you start collecting points. And whichever team is holding the drop zone, helicopters fly in and drop different care packages for your team for you to collect. So,
Huh.
and it's honestly it's the fastest way to level up. And it's if you don't care about like a kill death ratio because you're going to die a ton. It's the fastest way to level. So I've been going back playing through some of that just to level up a little bit more on Modern Warfare 3. And I played a game. Now this was a free game with the Xbox Live Games with Gold promotion called Iron Brigade, and it's by Double Fine.
Huh.
This game, all I saw on the cover art was just like a mech suit.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, what is this? What the hell is this? Well, it's based like World War II. And at the beginning of the game, it's got a guy laying there, and he was like, "And I lost my legs in the war," and it shows him getting run over by a tank. But while he's getting run over by the tank, he's still holding the American flag up, and he's smoking a cigar, and he's smiling. Well, they developed these wheelchairs that are basically just mech legs, and they're called trenches. And one guy gets the trench, the wheelchair legs, and he's cool with it. He's happy he can move. He's mobile again. One guy gets it, the other guy gets it and uses it for evil, pretty much. So they take the trenches, these walking wheelchair legs, and kind of repurpose them as like mech suit weapons.
Huh.
And so in the game you're in the trench, and it's kind of like a what's it called like a castle defense kind of game where
Mm-hmm.
waves of enemies come in, you got to clear them out. You get different weapons for your trench. You can have a machine gun. They've got like a sniper rifle, shotguns. You can add to like the mechanical body of the trench.
Uh-huh.
But then you can drop different kinds of turrets down. They got shotgun turrets. They got some that are aerial only turrets that shoot down flying enemies. They've got some turrets that'll just repair your trench. So you got a little variety there, and they got a loadout screen where you choose what weapons you want on the trench, and then what um, turrets you want. I was pretty impressed with this game to be a free game. I didn't know what I was getting into, but it's by Double Fine, and they've got a really good sense of humor.
Huh.
So I've had a lot of fun with it. Um, you start the game in the trench, and they pick you up on the ship, and on the ship you talk to your commander. He'll you talk to him to decide what level you want to go to next,
Uh-huh.
and he's laying there in an iron lung. So his iron lung is on this whole table that spins around like in front of this map. They'll show you where you need to go and what each to advance to the next level.
Uh-huh.
But for free, this game is a lot of fun. And right now it's still free on until the end of the month if you've got a Xbox Live Gold. So
Huh.
I've been impressed with it. This is one that I've been playing through it a little at a time. It's one that I'll play to completion. I'll finish it up.
Right on.
So it's it's a Xbox Live Arcade game, but it's really good. I like it. So
Sweet.
it's one to for free. Check it out. You won't regret it. So, but that's all I played this week. It's just those three games. So if you don't have anything else, we'll take a break here.
Yeah,
Take a
that'll work.
break.
Yep,
All
that'll
right.
work.
All right. Let's take a break, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back, and the Dark Legend had to take a little break, but while he's away, we had some complications with Skype, and somehow we've got connected with Hell. I don't know what happened, but we have Satan on Skype. Satan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Um, I'm I'm doing really good. I'm doing really good. I'm living a very healthy life right now. Long healthy life. So,
I'm gonna change that.
well, I hope not. I hope not. Well, while we got you on the line before things get crossed over again, I have a couple questions. If you can you answer them
I
for me?
made the Xbox One.
You did what?
Made
You
the
made the Xbox One?
Xbox One. Piece
It,
of shit.
you made you made it in hell, the Xbox
Made
One?
it in hell with little Chinese killer.
Well, how many people have offered to sell their soul to you for a new console?
Oh,
All of them?
12.
12?
12.
Just just 12?
Just 12.
Well, that's not too
The
bad.
rest of them sold for the Xbox 360.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How many people how did you okay, when the Xboxes were red ringing, did you have something to do with that?
It wasn't a sign from me.
It
No.
was it was a sign from you? Is that what you're
No.
saying?
No. I can't talk about that.
Okay, that's top secret.
That's top secret. Don't look out your window.
Okay. Well, I got the curtains shut. So,
That's what you think.
all right. Well, let me ask you this: when as the as the consoles progress, are people going to see more problems with the new consoles, or do you think things are going to get better?
Depends on how I feel.
So it's up to you pretty much.
It's pretty much.
All right. Well, why would you do this to all these people that paid a chunk of money for a brand new console?
More souls.
It's just more souls.
More souls.
So you're hoping for suicides, really?
The more I fuck it up, the more people are gonna want it.
So by fucking it up, you think more people are going to want the consoles?
No. Yeah, that came out wrong. The more I fuck it up, the more people are gonna beg for my soul to be taken so that it'll work.
Will you offer them a working console for their soul?
Yes, but I won't give it to them.
So you'll just make them think it's going to work for a while, and
I'll let it work for like 10 minutes, and then I'll fuck it up again.
and by that point it's just too late.
Yep.
Well,
Contract signed.
well, all right. Well, what do you see? Which which console do you think is going to be the dominant console on Black Friday?
The Wii U.
The Wii U? Really?
Yeah.
The Wii
Yeah,
U?
it's made by our Asian department.
Oh, okay. You
Yeah,
have an
it's
you have
pretty,
an
it's pretty high goods. It's pretty high goods.
you have an Asian department in hell.
Oh, we have an Asian department, a yellow department, a beaner department, a Caucasian department, a black department, every department.
Well, all right. Well, that sounds pretty terrifying.
We're gonna rip off your guys' heads and shit down your souls.
Have you had any influence on any game developers?
No, not at all.
Not at all. This is all if a game's bad, it's just the developer's fault.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay. All right.
You know that nice little camera?
The
Little
Kinect?
camera? Yeah, that thing.
You,
Yeah. It's just basically for my entertainment. It's like a reality TV show for me.
So
I
you're
just sit there and watch you,
so you're watching all the Kinects.
basically.
You have a live feed just directly in hell from.
PS4i.
You have a live feed just directly in hell from all the Kinects.
Yeah, it's like our DirecTV department.
Oh, okay. Do you ever see anything good?
Depends on what you consider good.
Well, what would you consider good?
Ripping off your hood!
Well, all right. Well, listen, Satan, thank you for being on the podcast, but we really got to get Dark Legend on the line, so we're gonna take
Thanks
a
for
break.
having me.
Do what?
Thanks
Oh, well,
for
thanks for.
having me. Don't interrupt me!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, we're gonna see if we can fix this technical difficulty and see if we can get Dark Legend back on the line. But Satan, thank you.
Memory is dead!
Thank you for your time. All right, we're back. Legend, while you were gone, the strangest shit happened. I'll tell you about it off the air, though.
That's weird because when I was gone, strange shit happened here, and I'll tell you about it off the air.
Okay. With the lights flickering and...
I lost all electricity, and then when I got it back on, tried to log into Skype, it said Skype currently down.
Okay, it was bizarre.
Yeah,
Bizarre.
I don't know. And then all of a sudden it just popped up, and I was back in our chat with you, so I don't know what happened.
Well, I couldn't be happier to hear your voice. But we got emails.
So, hey, we got our first emails.
We do. This one
Nice.
This one comes in from Colin. He's from the UK.
Now, is this the call-in from our website?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. All right.
He's got a question
Okay.
for his two favorite knights.
Okay.
He says, "Hey, Hesser and Dark Legend, you guys good?" Hey, bro. I'm great.
I'm doing pretty awesome.
I'm okay. My sink's fucked up, but besides that, I'm good.
Besides Elder Scrolls Online not letting me pass my third mission without me dying instantly, I'm doing great.
Fucking sink.
Yeah.
But then he goes on to say, "The podcast was great. Thanks for the mention." Hey, you're welcome.
No,
buddy.
hey, no problem. You're getting another mention right now, Colin.
That's right. I have an update on the new console situation if you guys don't mind indulging me for a second. Sure.
Indulge away.
I have forgotten that my sister had bought me this Xbox in June this year for my birthday. Now I'm thinking that buying the new Xbox One and getting rid of the new one she got me would make me the worst brother ever. So this is where you guys come in. I can now put that money towards a new PC to be used for Elder Scrolls Online mainly,
Nice.
but it can't look like a gaming PC or she'll get offended when she comes over.
No, she won't.
I know nothing about PCs!
I know everything about PCs!
So I need you to tell me the specs I would need on an off-the-shelf computer that I could turn the graphics up to 11 on and not have a lot of problems. Thanks in advance, you guys. Sorry about the length. P.S. Thanks for pronouncing my name right.
No problem.
That's from Colin. So, Colin, my advice to you, number one, just because the new consoles come out, your 360 is not garbage.
It's not garbage.
I'll still
even
be.
though it is garbage because it's Microsoft.
No, hey,
It's not garbage because the 360 is still gonna be hanging on for a little while.
there's still going to be games coming out for both platforms for the Xbox One and the 360. So just because the new console's out, it's not trash. Hang on to it. A lot of the arcade games you can't get on the Xbox One. So, and a lot of the games with gold games are given away for free. Why not go ahead and keep the 360 as no matter what you do and continue to get free games on it if nothing else?
There's no reason why you would ever need to get rid of it. That's one of my biggest regrets from growing up in a poor childhood household. Is getting rid of my consoles, trading them off for new ones. At the time, I don't regret it because I got the newer, the better thing. But in the long run, I've spent a lot of money getting all my childhood systems again. Not saying that you're a child, you're probably a grown adult. You sound like it, but don't make the same mistakes. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Don't get rid of your 360. Hold on to it. Keep it. It was from your sister. Keep it forever, man. The games you're gonna play on it right now, you're gonna want to play in 10 years. Trust me. I know that from experience. So don't get rid of it. That's my number one advice to you. Number two advice to you is about the PC. That's an awesome way to go. Elder Scrolls Online, so far, like I've already talked about in the podcast, seems amazing. It's going to be amazing. Hester's going to jump in on it someday. His wife might get in on it, which is awesome. We can have a guild reunification.
Woo!
I'm pretty stoked about that. Second off, Colin, you need to email me, darklegend@nightnights.net, and I will go over specs with you off air. I'll help you pick out parts. Right out of the box, I don't believe you're going to want to go with off-the-shelf computer, and I'll explain that to you in our email communications. We can Skype if you want to. That's perfectly fine with me. We just need to know. I just need to know what type of budget I'm working within to help you out. And yeah, so email me darklegend@nightnights.net as soon as you can, and then I'll give you my Skype information. We'll get together on a Skype. We'll take care of this. Maybe we'll have you on for a edition of the Knightcast, and we'll get you squared away.
Right, and know that back when we all played Warcraft together, me and the Legend and my wife, we used to all play together. The computer I had at that time it would play Warcraft.
Yeah, it would play it. That's about it.
Yeah, and that was about it. And over last year, well, almost a year from now, I built my first computer.
Yep.
And I had never built a computer before. It's something I'd always been interested in. And I think really the way to go, and I mean, the computer that I built, none of the parts in it were brand new. I mean, brand new is in the point that none of them were,
Top of the line.
top of the line. They were top of the line, a year before, 2 years before.
Yeah.
Which was still an advance of like 6 to 8 years over what I had at the time. So, building my first computer was not hard at all. It's all basically plug and play. So don't limit yourself. Don't buy an off-the-shelf computer when for the same amount of money you can build something almost.
And I'll
twice
discuss
as
that
good.
with you.
Yeah.
I'll discuss that with you, Colin, because for the price of something off the shelf, for maybe even $100 more, maybe not even that, you can have a twice or three times better computer that you build yourself. It's not hard. I've built multiple computers throughout my life. I build computers for other people, give them building advice. I send them links to everything and they buy it, and then explain how to build it. It's very simple. It can be done easily. It take you a couple hours to put together, a couple hours to install the software. You're good to go. The part about you not wanting to offend your sister, I understand you don't want to hurt her feelings and stuff, but when you build a custom computer and when we go down this road together, you'll start to understand. You're going to want to make it look really cool. All the parts inside your computer are going to look epic, and you're going to want to show them off. And,
Right.
yeah, your sister bought you an Xbox 360 and you don't want to hurt her feelings because you're building a gaming computer, but
But she did,
explain it to her. The Xbox 360 is great for such and such, it's great for FPS if that's what you like to do on it, and skateboarding games for my instance. The computer gaming is for mass multiplayer like World of Warcraft, Elder Scrolls Online, and I would recommend FPS for you, but it doesn't have to be. So explain to your sister the difference between the two of them. It's not that you're replacing her 360, it's that you're adding to your gaming collection.
or pick out a case that you like, build a computer that you want, and who's she to know that you just didn't. You just thought, hey, I decided I wanted to build a computer. She doesn't
Yeah,
have to know you're playing games on it.
exactly.
You build it like you want it. That's what I did. I picked out a case, picked out a motherboard, or picked out a chip actually, and started from there, and then just built everything around a CPU.
Yep.
And yeah, Legend. I'm pretty sure I sent you the list of parts that I picked out, and I was more or less like, will all this work? Will all
Yeah.
this work together?
I think we had hours worth of Facebook conversations and Skype conversations on what parts would be best at your price range, trying to strain your price range and getting it all set up for you. So
Right, and two, building my own computer, now that I know how it goes together, there's still room for, so many upgrades after that.
oh yeah,
So,
that's when I talk about completely rebuilding my computer, that's just a personal choice. I could, in theory, just update the parts on the inside, but I love the thrill and the game of building a whole computer so much that I wait till I can afford to build a completely brand new one. And I understand that a lot of people don't do that. And not to say that I have always done that, because I have updated parts on the inside of my computer since I originally built this case. And what I mean by this case is when I purchased this case and I put everything inside of it, I have upgraded it since then. My next complete new build will be in a new case, and this one will be set off to the side or running a home server or whatever. But even with this, I could upgrade this and use it for another 4 years if I wanted to. If I wanted to just upgrade the video card and the memory, I could do that, and it would last for another 4 years. But I like the thrill of finding all the cool new top of the line parts and putting it in there and seeing what it can do when everything is top of the line. Now, you don't have to go down that road because it gets very expensive very quick, but that's what I enjoy doing. So
that that and the parts are ever changing. The graphics
Yeah.
card I chose, I've got the option of, with the motherboard that I've got the option of, swapping a card out as, a piece of cake. But I've got the option of running 2 cards at one time, and
Yep,
so those are all things.
SLIs them together and
Exactly. So, those are all things that you can. Okay, let me ask you this, Legend, for what he's wanting to build as far as budget wise for the price of an Xbox One, which is what, $4.99, $5.99, $4.99?
I think it's $4.99.
Right. The PlayStation was $3.99.
Yeah, and it's $100 more.
So $500, could he build a computer that will play Elder Scrolls Online?
Off the top of my head, I'd like to say yes, but I'd really have to look into it. I think it's doable. I think for an extra $100 to $150, you would have a computer that's going to last you a lot longer, and the graphics are going to be better. Needless to say, if that's a budget you're constrained inside of, I believe we could sit down and figure something out for you, Colin.
Exactly. And like I said, you don't have to have something brand new.
No.
As far as like graphics card wise or CPU wise, like I'm not running a brand new CPU by any means. But what I chose is, 10 times better than what I started with.
Yep.
So like the boot time and stuff on my computer now, as fast as it boots now is, mind blowing compared to what it was. So, and playing game like Warcraft, loading that, being able to play it at, 25, 30 frames a second, where I was getting, 7 or 12?
I think you were between 6 and 12, And
12,
then,
yeah.
then your wife was even worse than that. I think she was more like down around like the 4 to 6 or something.
Exactly, and that was with an off-the-shelf, brand new laptop computer.
Yeah. So
So, the money you spend for an Xbox One plus another $100 or two, you can build a computer that'll last you a long time before you need to upgrade,
yep.
and at least get you playing Elder Scrolls Online,
Which you really need to do.
which is something I definitely want to check out. So,
Which I'm really pissed that you don't have a key for.
yeah, I wish I would have known about the beta, but it just it slipped by. So I didn't really,
I believe you can still go register for another wave.
I just hate the fact that the beta on that seems to be so limited, though, too.
It is very limited.
Hey, you can play this weekend, and that's
Yeah,
it.
that's it. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna like later on down the road, like invite all of us back, beta testers back all at once, and just allow us to play it until it's released, or if they're just gonna be like, well, you had a week or you had 2 days worth of it, now let's go pay for it. I don't know. So
Let's see. Our next post here is a Facebook post from Andrew. He says, "You guys need to stop talking about this dumb video game BS and get back to what's really important." #dryer talk.
well, I guess he's gonna be bored shitless this episode.
Well, I had that good sync chat.
Yeah, we had a good sync chat. We
stopped the rain.
I did some more electrical work, Andrew. I saw, believe it was you that messaged me and we're talking about you needing some electrical stuff done in your house. I did some more. I replaced some more overhead lights throughout my house. Yeah, that's right. Dryer talk right here.
That's right.
Yeah, my dryer's working just fine.
See, I felt good for you. Did you open it up and suck all the lint out of it like I recommended?
No, I pulled it out though.
Well, when your house burns down,
I'll be moving in with you.
That'll be fine. Then we can live here until my dryer burns up. So.
Yep. Then we'll move in with you, Andrew.
That's right, Andrew.
We're coming for you. Burning a house down at a time.
I just felt like dryer chat last time got a little lengthy. When I listened back to it and I was editing the podcast, I was like, my God, I rambled about that dryer for way too long. So I wanted to keep sync chat to a minimum this time.
Don't worry, Andrew. Next week I'm going to play you a sweet serenade.
On your ocarina?
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I'm going to do a shout out for Andrew. But it's going to be cooler than that, Andrew. It's going to be cooler.
Well, that's all we got as far as emails this week. If you want to send an email in, it's podcast@ninenights.net, or usually once a week before we start recording, I'll put a post up on Facebook as a final call before we start recording of if you have anything you want mentioned on the show, speak now.
Or not mentioned.
Or not mentioned. We'll just ignore it. Either way.
We'll just ignore it.
But so if
we'll
you got
just talk about it.
If you've got an email for the podcast, it's podcast@ninenights.net, or you can get a hold of me at hesser@ninenights.net.
Or you can get a hold of me at darklegend@ninenights.net.
And Colin, darklegend@ninenights.net, and he'll help you build a PC.
Let's do this, Colin.
Let's see, we got a Facebook page. We post stuff on there sometimes.
Sometimes. I like to put up my face on there and just book it around.
I like to talk about video games, and
I like to talk about that little company called Ink Whiskey on there. I'm just going to give them a little shout out again. $30,000 worth of funding and counting. They got like 30 hours ago. They've almost tripled their needed funding. I am ecstatic to get my gold Legend of Drunk flask, NES flask. I'm very excited about that. The CEO of it has had some awesome life things happen to him recently, so congratulations on those. I'm not going to go into detail because I don't really know if he's okay sharing that or not. But besides that, he's had an amazing time on this Kickstarter campaign that you guys can check out at Kickstarter.com. Type in Flask or Ink Whiskey, and you guys will see it. You guys have 30 hours left to get one. $15. All right, guys. I was looking around and I was like, I can understand like why people don't want to pay for a flask. It's like, pretty expensive, $20. No, $15 for Drunk Hunt flask. I'm not gonna lie, I almost paid another $15 on top of my 50 already just to get Drunk Hunt.
How much?
$15 is not very much for a flask, let alone a custom flask that nobody else has that's a Nintendo parody. Come on.
How much did they ask for originally? What was their Kickstarter for? Was it 12 grand?
12 grand and they're at 30, I want to say like 32,000 and something
That's
right now.
fantastic.
Yeah, I'm going to just
Thanks to the 9 Nights.
yeah, and they've been getting a ton of publicity all over the place. I mean, 34,000. Oh, holy crap, $88. It just jumped up from 34,000 even to $34,088 right now. They have 1,166 backers to go, and I'm sorry, 24 hours to go on the funding. So
by the time you hear this, it'll probably be over. But
no, you'll have 12 hours roughly. You should, right? No, maybe it might be over.
I hope so. Who knows?
You might have 1 hour, guys.
But if you order a flask through them, if you back them on Kickstarter, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say you're going to get your flask. So
Yeah.
which this is great. Kickstarter is something that I've heard other podcasts talk about it. I've looked in on projects before just to see how it's going. Eventually in the future, I'd like to back some of these projects, but I think Kickstarter is a great opportunity for projects like the Ink Whiskey Flask to get their funding and get their leg in the door.
Yeah.
And get a project off the ground. And this is something unique I've never seen before, and I look forward to maybe sharing some more Kickstarters with everybody in the future.
That's all I've got though for this week. Check us out on the PlayStation Network. I'm Dark Legend with 2Ks. It's the only place. All right, people, you guys get so confused all the time, and it's very confusing to me too. On the PlayStation Network, Dark Legend, spelt DARKLEGEND, was already taken. Some douchebag took it.
Don't friend him. He's an asshole.
If you do friend him,
tell him he's an asshole.
Tell him he's an asshole and troll the shit out of him. The only time I am Dark Legend with 2Ks is on the PlayStation Network. Add me there. It's DARKKLEGEND on the PlayStation Network. Everywhere else, it only has 1K. So if you guys are looking for me to send me an email, it's only 1K. And I know I've actually seen a few people on the Skyrimatic podcast Facebook page. They've mentioned it with 2Ks, and some people have said they've tried to send an email to 1K or to 2Ks, and it's not going to get to me. So
you're Dark Legend with 2Ks.
I'm with 1K.
DARKKL. Do what?
1K.
You're 1K on PSN.
No, 2Ks on the PSN, 1K everywhere else.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, PlayStation's gay like that sometimes.
And if you play Xbox, which I do, I'm Hester Almighty on Xbox Live. You can find me there.
Colin, Adam Colin.
He did.
Oh. Colin, you're awesome.
He's a Skyrim fiend.
34,108. Yeah, we're just having a live stream here. Until this is over, I'm just going to keep rambling off numbers periodically.
All right. We got it. Hey, we're on Twitter, @the9nights.
We tweet.
Tweet. And we're on Google Plus 9 Nights.
Yep.
And you can find a link to our YouTube page on our website under the Contact Us tab.
Yep.
Which we'll be adding more to that. We're shooting to really bring our YouTube presence to the world at the beginning of the year, the new 2014. So keep an eye on that. There's a contest we're doing.
Sort of.
I
think I'm gonna win.
A couple of people have entered this contest. I've been pleasantly surprised so far.
Nice.
We're giving away 1 year of PlayStation Plus or 1 year of Xbox Live Gold. Entering the contest is super sleazy easy.
Sleazel easel.
You can enter by sharing a post on Facebook. Or
I share them all the time, so I think I'm going to win.
Me too.
Yep.
Or retweeting a post on Twitter. Or on our webpage, 9nights.net, there's a Support Us tab at the top right of the page with a link to our Amazon page or
And
Amazon
I
affiliate link.
purchased stuff there before. It works.
If you purchase something through our Amazon link, it costs you no extra, but we get a small kickback from each purchase. Every $5 you spend counts as one entry into the contest. So sharing, tweeting, retweeting, and buying stuff from Amazon, as you're going to do anyway, because it's the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Every $5 will get you entered into the contest. The last day to enter is Monday, December 30th. And we'll pick a winner and announce them on the show. The more times you enter, the more chances you got. So buy and share and retweet away.
I'm just going to say that right now, that if you were to buy an Xbox One, let's just say at $499, if you were to buy an Xbox One off of Amazon, off of our link, and it showed up on our affiliates program that you purchased it off of our link, that's 99.8%. That would be 99.8 tickets into our drawing. I'll just round it up. I'll give you 100 right now. I'm feeling generous.
Okay.
I'll give you 100.
Okay.
And let's round this around down to $399 for a PS3. You've got 80. It's actually 79.8, but I'm gonna give you 80. So if you guys go out buy a PS3, what the hell am I talking about? PS4, or if you buy an Xbox One because you're gay like that, you will get a substantial. I don't see how you could lose. So just so you know, I mean, I'm just throwing it out there.
And especially if you pick up one of these new consoles, why not have a year of online service for free on us?
Yeah.
So, entering's easy. All the contest information is on our page under the contest tab at 9nights.net. If you bought an Xbox One or you bought a PlayStation 4, let us know what you think about it. Email the podcast at podcast@9nights.net. We're on iTunes. Hey, you know we're on iTunes?
What's iTunes?
People listen to podcasts and buy Kanye CDs.
Oh, is that where I get the new Miley Cyrus one?
That's where you get the new Miley Cyrus.
Oh, sweet.
But there's also the Knightcast on iTunes.
Well,
And
that's probably their like number one seller then.
Well, you would think so, considering we have 30,000 listeners.
30,000, 40 now.
40,000?
40,000 listeners divided by 40,000.
But if you listen to our show through iTunes, I don't know if you've noticed, but you can leave a review for the podcast.
Leave a review.
If you leave us a review, we'll read it on the show. We're also on Stitcher Radio. You can find the Knightcast there. You can leave a review on Stitcher as well. Leaving a review or a 5-star rating, preferably, helps bump us up on the charts and helps get us noticed. And we would really appreciate it.
If I get noticed, you guys will get noticed.
If I get noticed, then there'll be a contest from the noticing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. You can take that to the piggy bank and shove it.
That's right. Legend,
I don't even know what that meant.
That's all I got, man, this week. You got anything else?
No.
Okay, me either. Xbox, congratulations on the Xbox One launch. Microsoft, good, congrats. PlayStation, glad to see you're going strong, 1 million units. Congratulations. That's all I got for this show.
That's pretty much it.
We'll keep an eye on everything and keep the Facebook and website updated with news on the new consoles as it unfolds. But that's it for this week. So join us next week for the next episode of the Knightcast. Thank you, everybody.